Imagine a company so influential that its failures were buried in a desert. Atari, the trailblazer of the video game industry, experienced not one, but two bankruptcies, leaving an indelible mark on gaming history. Founded in 1972 by Nolan, Bushnell, and Ted Dabney, Atari was a pioneer, bringing arcade games and home consoles into mainstream culture. With the introduction of Pong in 1972, the first commercially successful arcade game, Atari set the stage for a burgeoning industry. The release of the Atari 2600 in 1977 marked a new era, as it revolutionized home gaming with its interchangeable cartridges, reaching a sales peak of $2 billion in 1982. At this zenith, Atari was more than a company. It was a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of innovation and entertainment in every household, with its consoles gracing living rooms across America and beyond. However, such meteoric success was fleeting. The early 1980s saw an influx of competitors and a saturation in the market, as numerous companies attempted to capitalize on the video game craze. Atari's rapid expansion led to a dilution in game quality, and the market was flooded with subpar games. Among these was the infamous E.T. the Extraterrestrial game, rushed to market in 1982 to coincide with the film's release. The game, developed in just 5.5 weeks, was critically panned and became one of the biggest commercial failures in video game history, with an estimated 3.5 million unsold cartridges buried in a New Mexico landfill, a symbol of the industry's excess and misjudgment. By 1983, these missteps culminated in the video game crash, devastating the industry. Thousands of developers lost their jobs, and major retailers turned their backs on video games, including Atari's products. This collapse was not just a financial disaster, but an emotional blow to the many who had poured their passion into the promise of digital entertainment. The dreams of countless developers, engineers, and visionaries were abruptly halted, leaving a landscape of uncertainty and loss. Many who had seen Atari as the future of entertainment now faced the stark reality of an industry in disarray, their hopes dashed by the miscalculations of those at the helm. This crash forced Atari into bankruptcy in 1984. The company was split into Atari Games and Atari Corporation. While Atari Games focused on creative development and continued to innovate in the arcade sector, Atari Corporation handled hardware and home consoles. However, the damage was done. The industry landscape had shifted, and Atari struggled to regain its footing. In the mid-1990s, the company attempted a comeback with the Jaguar console, which boasted being the first 64-bit gaming system. Yet, despite its technical prowess, the Jaguar was a commercial flop, selling only 125,000 units by 1995. In 1996, Atari halted console production entirely, marking the end of an era and leaving behind a legacy of what could have been. But the story didn't end there. In 2013, the company filed for bankruptcy again, this time largely due to the burdens of its debt-ridden French parent company, Infogrames. The distress was palpable among Atari's remaining loyalists and employees, who watched helplessly as the iconic brand teetered on the brink of oblivion. It was a dark chapter, but not the final one. Under new leadership, with Wade Rosen as CEO in 2021, Atari sought to reclaim its legacy, focusing on revitalizing its brand and product line. Rosen's vision was to blend the nostalgic charm of Atari's past with modern gaming innovation, an ambitious task that required both strategic insight and an emotional connection to the brand's storied history. The collapse of Atari is a stark reminder of the human cost and financial impact of poor strategic decisions. At its peak, Atari was the heart of the gaming revolution, a beacon of creativity and technological advancement. Yet it failed to adapt to a rapidly changing industry. By losing approximately $2,400 per console in its final years, it highlighted severe financial mismanagement. The disillusionment among fans and employees was profound, as the company they loved seemed to betray its core values. The emotional toll of these failures was immense, leaving a generation of gamers with a sense of nostalgia tinged with regret. Atari's story is a cautionary tale about innovation and quality control. It's a narrative of how a lack of strategic foresight and market adaptation can lead to downfall, even for the most pioneering of companies. The emotional weight of Atari's rise and fall resonates with anyone who dreams of building something enduring and impactful. The lessons of Atari's missteps are echoed in boardrooms and among entrepreneurs who study the company's legacy as a guide for what to avoid. In retrospect, Atari's journey reflects not only the potential for success in the tech industry, but also the devastating consequences of mismanagement. It serves as a lesson that in the world of technology, standing still is not an option. For Atari, the challenge remains to navigate its revival path and reclaim the respect and legacy it once held. The brand's resilience and willingness to evolve are testament to the enduring spirit of those who continue to believe in its potential. As Atari charts a new course, it does so with the weight of its past informing its future, a future that holds the promise of renewal and the hope of redemption for one of gaming's most beloved pioneers. As the gaming world watches, Atari stands at a crossroads, poised to write a new chapter in its storied history.